What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. You're watching Diesel Fuel Network. I'm Gary, and finally got something diesel powered to play with here. So this is a Kubota D-950, cheapest Kubota diesel on marketplace. I paid 180 bucks for this thing. Pretty much complete. I needed to get a starter for it, and the story was, the guy said on there, it was sitting for 8 years. At least that was what was written in the marketplace ad. Sitting 8 years from a Jacobsen mower, and said it was a D600, 16.5 horsepower. There's a sticker on here from a D600, in fact, from a Jacobsen mower. Jacobsen, blah, 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 16 horse by Kubota. Alright guys, sometimes I just go on talking and talking about nothing. So anyway, I got the thing home, realized it was actually a D950. And, well, we're going to try and get it running. It's actually probably been sitting more like 15, 20 years, depending on what the guy said. But either way, let's play around with this thing and see if we can get it going. I do not know if this is 100% the correct starter. It looks like it's going to be lined up properly with the flywheel when it jumps out. So we're about to find that out right now. Hopefully it does something. Ho, ho, ho. That actually sounds like it has compression, don't it? I mean, it's making a nice... But why is it that I can turn it over by hand? I hear it doing stuff. You know, I bet the valves are leaking. But if it doesn't have a lot of compression, it's not going to want to go. It's got 2,500 hours on it, if I didn't say that. Or at least that's the story that I'm told. Let's try and give these glow plugs a little bit of heat. Oh, I don't know. Is it doing anything? Don't know if those are working or not. You would think there'd be a little bit of sparkage. I mean, I imagine they self-ground, yeah. So, positive. Little some heat. Something just fell on the garage, scared the shit out of me when I was doing that. And again, I think that's, I'm going to say that's probably full throttle. Alright, that's definitely moving. Once again, I got smoke on the wrong end here. I got it coming out of the exhaust, which is good, but got diesel smoke a little bit, not as much as before, coming out of the intake, which definitely would indicate valve issues. I forgot to turn this back on. So. You know what? I'm an idiot. What am I thinking of? Let me crack some injector lines. Rather than just sitting here all day trying to do what I'm doing, let's take some action here. Oh yeah! All right. Oh yeah, I got fuel on one of my injectors now. None of the other ones though. There's fuel there again. So before I do anything, let me just get fuel to this again. Okay. Alright, Now we know we have fuel in there, right? So, let me hit that with the frickin' starter again. Alright, well you saw that, right? That was some obvious action there, but nowhere near any action here. So I had to pop, in order to get this out, I had to pop that glow plug out, and actually it came right out of there. I was really surprised, only because when it comes to the Mercedes I got over there, I dread having to do those because they're really, supposedly you can break them off pretty easily. So they say on the Mercedes to get the engine real hot before you take them out. Obviously I don't have that option here, and it came right out. They're like 25 bucks for new ones, so I'll probably just end up getting new ones. Doesn't look like I messed up the gasket, but I might just be better off to get a new gasket. I didn't get this out yet. That's why I got the camera back out here. Battery died on it, like I said, so got 28%, and I didn't bring the plug out. So I'm just going to pop this out and see what we got going on here. Let's see. I'm not sure what we got going on here. Okay. There's a little pin right there. I'm guessing that is the shut off, probably. Let's just bring this over to, there's some junk in there too. Alright, I think I already see the problem. Tell me if you could tell what the issue is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're all supposed to be out like that. Those two are stuck. Now, let me see something here. Notice too, they're roller lifters. Oh, sounded like there's a cat. Some kind of cat out there. See that? Nice spring to that. Well, those are stuck. Those are completely stuck up in there. So that, my friend, is our problem. That's some sort of wild or outdoor cat, by the way. So the question is, can I get those to come out of there and free them up? Oh, jeez, my glasses are falling off. I got oil on my hands. Hang on. Hi. You're gonna shoot your eye out. My glasses fell off, and my BB gun. We'll get your gun. I don't know where they are. Might be across the street, actually. Well, sounds like they settled it. Alright, so basically figuring out how this thing works. I actually, at first, I was like, oh, that's just the stop lever, but then I realized that is also the rack. So basically, when you hit the stop lever, it just fully puts the rack to the off position, past the off position, I guess. Shuts it down. But that is also stuck. Alright guys, time for a YouTuber confessional. Anybody who's watching this who actually has worked on injection pumps, or especially a Kubota injection pump, is probably saying, yeah, no shit, that's stuck. That's part of the other things that are stuck. The plunger's right inside the barrel, and that rack basically spins the plunger to allow for fuel to go past the valve, which is basically what the plunger is. Yeah, I haven't worked on one of these. I've never actually disassembled an injection pump, and I'm just kind of figuring it out as I go, which honestly is really quite enjoyable. I recommend it. So let's continue on and pull this thing apart and learn as we go. But let's hit it with a hammer first. Okay, that's moving. Oh, I see what's going on here. So that's moving, but whatever's up in there is not moving. So there's more stuff that's stuck. Oh yeah, she's going. All right, that's. Hey, there you are. Shoes. That's out of there. That's the part that was stuck inside the other thing. So that's the little fueling groove right there. So that goes on there like that. Let's just put that together. So that's not even like corroded or anything. So we can clean this up and put it all back together. But this doesn't even, yeah, so this is kind of tight. So this was kind of stuck. But just doing that already, and it's freeing up and getting really easy. So I'm confident we can get this back together in a way that it should probably work. I see what's going on. So you know what it is? So once I get this one out, this rack should move fine. The actual spinny bit in there is connected to the plunger bit. So that plunger bit being stuck means it's also not spinning, which is why the rack doesn't move. So there, you know, we'll have this figured out. Or if we can get it back together in the proper way and not be stuck, then we might be onto something. Alright, so I actually did find the problem after a more thorough cleaning and inspection. So right after disassembly, I kind of worked these through their, you know, these through the barrels, and I was like, yeah, it's working all right. And look, two of them, the two that were stuck, have some obvious rust. Now, I found a video on YouTube of somebody overseas. They weren't speaking English, and they were using metal polish to fix that. So I just did one already. I already put it together, and it seems like it's going to work. Although it does have a little bit of, like, kind of almost pitting or a slight, you know, mess up on it still. Evidence that was there, but I'm just going to go ahead and put it back together and send it. One cool thing is I now know how to disassemble and reassemble a Kubota injection pump, at least for a D-950. As you can see, I put two of them together already, so I'm waiting. I'm just going to go ahead and do the rest of this on film so you guys can see exactly how I am doing this. Just using some Mother's Mag polish. I'm going to polish that up, and we'll go ahead and put it back together, and you'll see exactly how this thing goes together. It's pretty simple. Now, I know there's probably, if anybody's clicked on this video that actually knows what they're doing when it comes to, like, actual diesel mechanics, which I am not. I am I'm a mechanic with many years experience, but not with many years experience on diesel. I have, even though my channel's named Diesel Fuel Network, I actually have very little experience actually working on diesels. And, well, I just like diesels. So I ended up naming my channel that. Do I regret naming my channel that? Well, yeah, kind of. Should have named it like Gary's Backyard Projects or something. That's too long a name, though. Gary's carport would have been a cool one, right? That ain't the name of the channel, so we just got to roll with what we got here. You don't always see diesel on this channel. A lot of channels I watch don't have exactly what they originally set out to be, or their channel name is not exactly representative of everything they do. Yeah, look at Diesel Creek. You know, I remember I started watching Diesel Creek, and I do remember the first thing anytime he got something to work on that wasn't a diesel, I was a little disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. I like tuning into his channel to see him work on diesel stuff, but not everything can be diesel. Same spot I showed it to you before. Same lighting. So you could see, if I can get it to focus, yeah, see that? There is still pitting right there on the base of that, where that rust was. It still has evidence. Now, you know, it's not going to fix that. It's not going to be perfect. But I think it's going to run like that. First and foremost is timing it. There's a timing mark, or I don't even know if you'd call this timing it. This is just the setup, I guess. But on the, and it's actually, as you see that little notch there? Well, it's not that. It's on the opposite side, and it's down by the teeth. So, you see that little notch right down there, that little, right there, where my overly grown fingernail is. That mark right there lines up with the rack. There you go. There she is. That notch is lined up with that notch. There is a particular way that this has to be lined up based on how that notch is. And then the barrel has a notch in it right there. There's a notch there, and that actually lines up with a little thing that's sticking out in there. So on the other side, that goes in, and it lines up, and this lines up. And then when it's in there, you can see that little hole right there. And more or less, it's like, why do I say more or less all the time? I don't like that phrase anymore. You know, as that spin, not only is that going in and out, creating pressure, but as that spins, that little notch, it opens up more fuel as it turns. So that's how that works. That is how that works. Now, a bit tricky here. What we want to do is try not to forget entirely how I did it last time, because I'm trying to film it and talk to you, tell you what I'm doing. So basically what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to pre-assemble this, because you can't really put the retainer in after it's already like down in there. The retainer won't have any way to get onto the valve. So we're going to take note as to how that's oriented before we drop that in there. Make sure that it's the correct orientation. And then I'm going to try, and also this will fall right through, by the way. So the other one I put together, I actually put the other side together first and screwed the delivery valve on. And that made it a little easier, but I found this to actually, that made it a way to do it to where it wouldn't fall through, but I found this to actually be easier doing it this way, the way I'm about to do it, which is I am just going to get this side together first by holding my finger on the other side. Okay, am I getting shit all over this thing? All right, there she is. Seems to be, ooh, there she goes. We got this bit here. Then our lifter. And the lifter has a little hole in it, notch in it, and that lines up with the pin that holds it in place. That guy will just line right up beautifully. And once that lifter's in there, it'll locate it it'll locate the valve retainer so that that delivery or that plunger can't fall through the other side. And then we have this little guy right here. That is the little retainer for the lifter here. And the barrel is just going to drop in. And there's a notch. You just got to get that. Boy, my freaking nose is like raining right now. All right, so the notch has to be oriented a specific way here. More or less, it should just kind of fall into place. Kind of simultaneously, so that the plunger's in there and it can kind of go like this. So you got to kind of get it to be straight so that it can fall over that. And then once you get that, it basically just falls into place. There she goes. And that, I can see by where it is in there, is actually down around that notch, fully in place. You can actually see the plunger inside of it. All right, now with the delivery valve, I guess it would be here. There is this other bit with a couple of bits in it. That thing there that kind of comes in and out that I do not know what this is. Don't ask me. Well, I guess this would be the delivery valve. It's actually a valve that moves. It's on a spring. So the spring goes in this. Then this goes in there, just like that. There's a copper washer there too. And there's also an O-ring, obviously, on that. And that baby just kind of goes in there. There she is. Now, how does it move? Well, one, we got a moving rack. We did not have a moving rack before. We have moving plungers. All three of them can go all the way in and out without any issue. Okay, now obviously it's going to be from alright, let's see if we got, let's see, I had some trouble. It seems like this thing, the rack still wants to stick a little bit. Well, I'm just where it's at, see if I got fuel over my pipes here. They are loose. Two of them going. Where's the others? First say, where's the other? Is it enough? It should be. thing's gonna go. I'm still nervous about the rack being... Okay, it's not like stuck right now. Woo! Dude, no way. Jumping Jehoshaphat's, here we go. I'm scared it's just gonna run away, I gotta be honest. Oh my god, I'm nervous. Alright, that's not stuck. Woo! Yes, my friend. Yes, my friend. Yo, this is so freaking pleasing right now. Oh, it smells good too. Alright. Now, that doesn't feel like it's working again, does it? No, it does. Alright, so I'm pretty sure it's the rack sticking on the pump and not the governor arm, everything in there that's sticking. Because obviously when I pulled the pump out before, I could see if I went all the way to the off position, it would kind of stick there. So I was able to go in here to this stop mechanism, which is just a little thing in there that pushes it that way, and free that up. I have it basically in the on position. So it looks to me like it's not, I kind of worked it. It doesn't look like it's going to stick wide open. It just looks like it wants to stick shut. So I'm just going to, and I think I just wasn't giving it enough throttle on here. Because basically there's nothing to grab, you know, nothing to hold that. And it's not really putting any pressure on the governor spring. So I'm going to try it again, see what happens. That was a weird noise. Oh man, she's rolling some coal there. I don't know, it's like wanting to just shut right off. So I am thinking maybe it's pulling air and that's the issue. Not too sure, to be honest. Oh, that was the longest she's run. Come on, baby. Got no throttle. Huh. Well, I'm wondering if it has no throttle. Just woo, it's smoky in here. Holy crap, I gotta get out of here. I'm wondering if it just has no throttle because it's the way I have the fuel tank set up and everything. And you hear it like clacking, which is not a rod knock, that's like an injector coming in and out, which is probably because it's losing fuel pressure, I would think. Alright, well, I checked the operation of the lift pump while turning it over, and it is indeed pumping. So I was going to try and hook up this little electric pump to it, but I don't think it's going to make any difference. Now, I did notice it looks like I might have some leakage going on right there on those delivery valves. That could be a problem. I just reused the O-rings when I put them back, but they seemed alright, so I don't know. I'm going to figure let's try and run it one more time and and then we'll just have to call it for now. Alright, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna give it a little shot of ether. Oi. Huh. Oh, that was weird. Oh no, it's good again. It almost sounds like it's missing on one cylinder. Let me see. If we're hot on all three exhaust pipes. Man, that was the best it's ever run though. Hell yeah, brother. I don't want to run it too long with no coolant, but I think it's running on all three, but it definitely seems like the outer cylinder's not hitting as hard. And it did it again. The governor kicked in and it popped the rack back, and now the rack is like stuck. So I'm probably gonna have to pull that pump again and mess with that rack, but I'm pretty happy with that. Alright guys, well, the other day when I was messing with it, it just kind of ran a little bit. I was really happy, but I didn't expect it to actually run that good now. So I'm glad I came back out here and messed around with it. Or really, I didn't do anything. I just started it again, and it just happens to be good. And I put more fuel in that tank. I wonder if that tank kind of tipped over. But anyway, I don't know what I'm going to end up doing with that engine. I might just try to get it good and then maybe just sell it. Or I might try to get it good and build something for it. But either way, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.